Kahalo Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahabashai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone rule well. I am not a member, however, I've entered into their labors. Peace and mercy to the sincere brothers and sisters doing this, wherever you are, whatever your lot may be. This is something I kind of wanted to, of course, I'm preaching to self for anything, but I wanted to delve into, and it's about the milk scripture, sincere milk. And you know, the scriptures refer to, or they are referred to, the weightier matters are referred to as meat, and the simpler things, especially when it comes to the Israelites that were first waking up, um, who were not initially a part of the circumcision, you know, they had a learning curve. So there were certain small things that you know, Paul was telling them to do, right? Like don't eat food, you know, stay away from idols. And you know what, man? Let me find that really quick before I want that to be the opening scripture, and then we'll get into a couple of other scriptures that refer to as milk. So bear with me 1 second while I find that. Let's see, use my computer real quick. And Paul. I believe it's in Corinthians, but we're gonna see. Okay, Acts 15 and 20. So let's go to that. I want to get that in the uh, uh, KJV first. So we'll open up with Acts 15 and 20, and then we'll move on to the milk scriptures. And I just want to liken that unto drilling something, or when I say drill, I mean repetition, the basics. And I want to use martial arts, you know, or some sort of discipline, learning a new language. Um, if you're trying to get better at running, or if you're trying to get better at push-ups, or trying to get stronger, whatever may be, you have to do those things, and you have to practice your basics. You have to practice the basic mechanics until they are second nature. But we'll get to that. This is Acts 15 and 20. And this is Paul talking to the converts, all right, to the newer, writing a letter, instructing on how to, you know, bring the uncircumcised into the fold. Okay, so we'll start at 19. Wherefore my sentence is that we trouble not them which from among the Gentiles are turned to God, but that we write unto them that they abstain from pollutions of idols, and from fornication, and from things strangled, and from blood. For Moses of old time hath in every city them that preach him, being ready in the synagogues every Sabbath day. Basically, you know, here's a blueprint. Here's how you get started, right? And then you, of course, are expected to grow. The scriptures are likened a lot of things unto agriculture. Okay, you are a seed and you are expected to grow, or you are wheat, things that are nurtured and flourish. Okay, olive branch, vines, things of that nature. All right, so let's go. We'll stay in the NLT from here and get a couple of uh, scriptures on the milk, on milk, and you know, keeping drilling the basics, and then that'll be the video. All right, so this is First Peter 2 and 2. We'll start at 1. We'll read 1 and 2. So get rid of all evil behavior. Be done with all deceit, hypocrisy, jealousy, and all unkind speech. Like newborn babes, you must crave pure spiritual milk, so that you will grow into a full experience of salvation. Cry out for this nourishment, now that you have had a taste of the Lord's kindness. Right? And how would you cry out? Searching the scriptures daily, searching things that are on YouTube with the, you know, within you know, GMS and in XY, whatever you're looking for, and take notes. Things that you know, that you want to build that solid foundation. Okay, and this, I guess, this may be for people who are newer in the faith. Um, you will learn and you will grow, but you know, the first things first. Search these scriptures, look through, take it, and take note on all the things. There are going to be scriptures that you have not heard before, but they are basic knowledge, or they will be shown to you as basic knowledge as you continue to grow. All right. Remember, you are a seed and you are expected to flourish. Okay, the scriptures reference it has a lot of metaphorical references to things of agriculture. We'll get 1 Corinthians 3 and 2 for the next one. All right, and we're going to get straight to the point here. If you have not read through this, you should. Okay, this is all about the newcomers. Okay, so I'll start at the top. Dear brothers and sisters, when I was with you, I couldn't talk to you as I would to spiritual people. Right? They needed to grow. I had to talk to you as though you belonged to this world, or as though you were infants in Hamashiach. I had to feed you with milk, not with solid food, because you weren't ready for anything stronger. And you still aren't ready, for you are still controlled by your sinful nature. You are jealous of one another and quarrel with each other. Doesn't that prove that you are controlled by your sinful nature? Aren't you living like people of the world? When one of you say, I am a follower of Paul, and another says, I follow Apollos, aren't you acting just like people of the world? After all, who is Apollos and who is Paul? We are only Yahweh's servants through whom you believe the good news, right? So, again, there are things you have to do in order to grow in the spirit. And the more you grow the spirit, the smaller and smaller that carnal man comes. Okay, but of course you will battle, all right? There are times where you will be low in the spirit. There are times where you will be high. Ride the high and endure the low. But always, never stop seeking. Never stop praying. Never stop reading. Never stop listening to the videos. Okay, there are times where you're going to be like, you know what, I just want to be in my folly. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just be balanced about it. You should spend more time fighting to be in the spirit than you should relaxing in your folly. And again, I am preaching to self. Okay, so where's another milk scripture that we can get? I believe I know there's a couple in Hebrews. So we'll do Hebrews 5 and 12. Yeah. Too far. Right, and every so often, right, you gotta seek the old paths, right? Go back to your first works. This is Hebrews 5, and we'll start at 11. So you see the header here is a call to spiritual growth. Okay, remember, you are a seed and you are required to grow. The nourishment is there. You seek it, you cry out for it, and you grow. Starting at verse 11. There is much more we would like to say about this, but it is difficult to explain, especially since you are spiritually dull and don't seem to listen. And that's Jake. You have been believers so long now that you ought to be teachers teaching others. Instead, you need someone to teach you again the basic things about Yahweh's word. You're like babies who need milk and cannot eat solid food. For someone who lives on milk is still an infant and doesn't know how to do what is right. Solid food is for those who are mature, who through training have the skill to recognize the difference between right and wrong. Okay, training. That's why I mentioned about drilling things over and over. And I like in martial arts. I enjoy my Muay Thai practice, or I am a Muay Thai practitioner. I've done boxing, or I guess traditional Western boxing as well. And the movements are not the same. Okay, you can bob, you can weave, you can slip a lot more in boxing because you don't have to worry about feet and knees coming flying at you. And I had to find another way to adjust my footwork when moving over to Muay Thai. And it took time, right? There was understanding that I didn't have, and I tried to incorporate traditional Western boxing aspects into Muay Thai because I was better at those, but they didn't work. They did not fit for what I needed to do, okay? And I'm hoping you're picking up what I'm putting down here. They did not fit, so I had to minimize what I was doing in traditional Western boxing and grow in Thai boxing, perfect my footwork, perfect my, my switch kicks, my teeps, things of that nature, okay? And I had to drill over and over basic techniques before they became second nature. And that is what you do in this truth. Especially when you get, some people may get too puffed up, or you got the script, you got the milk down, and then you want to move on to the weightier things, the dark sayings, and you get that understanding. But never forget, you still have to drill the basics. All right, that will keep you honest, that will keep you humble, that will keep you growing. You never forget where you started, and never forget your first works. Uh, let's see. I think that we've drilled it enough. I just wanted to get a couple scriptures, and I just wanted to make a small point here, and I think that I think that the point has been made. I didn't want this to be very long, something short, thorough, and to the point, but in a way that anyone could understand. If you're not a martial artist, it's the same concept. Drilling whatever you do for basketball. Right? If you're right-handed, your left hand layup sucks, or you're always leaning or depending on your right hand, and your enemy can pinpoint those weaknesses and exploit them. All right, and that's another thing that I brought this up. Maybe we'll do a part two on that. Where you're weak, your enemy can exploit you. Okay, so with that being said, I pray that you are edified. Shalom.